Hello, welcome to Coin Edition. We are here at the World Blockchain Summit conducted by TrustCon. Here we have another guest, Paula Tavangar. Hello, madam. And she is investment principal at SwissBorg Ventures. So, can you please tell me about your venture capital with the SwissBorg Ventures?
Absolutely. First, thank you so much for having me. Maybe before speaking about the SwissBorg Ventures, I need to explain about SwissBorg because we are the investment arm of SwissBorg. SwissBorg had come a long way. Currently, we have 1 million plus users, almost 300 employees. It's a huge company, and we're just one of the departments. We are doing strategically aligned investments with SwissBorg.
So, how do you see the Web3 spaces as an investment mode? How do you see that? The Web3 spaces and investment mode?
Maybe in terms of investment, I think that overall it slowed down, but this is a very natural and normal thing in any bear market, in any sector, actually in any asset class. We are seeing the very same thing in traditional VCs, not only in Web3. I think even in terms of unicorns this year dramatically came down. There was a statistics, I think, around 70-80% in the US compared to the last year. And what is happening currently is that the valuations are drastically falling. And then there are opportunistic investors that are picking up at lower valuations at the moment, but also this happens at a lower pace. I think if in the beginning of the year, especially as a Web3 company, if it would have taken you, let's say 3 to 6 months to fundraise for a round, now it might take you way longer. Actually, even this is way too long. When the industry was booming, you could literally close a round in 1 month, which was insane. There was so much inflow of capital. And obviously now the investors are a bit risk off, so we're observing that slowdown. But as I said, for me, it's a very opportunistic moment because right now, you can pick up investments that are already in the market, not only in the private markets, that are at incredible valuations. I think a few days ago the news came out for Uniswap that they raised 165 million. At one point, I believe 6 billion valuation, 1.6 billion valuation. And this is incredible compared to their valuation last year, which was around $22 billion. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So if you believe in the space, if you're an active investor, then right now it's a really great timing to deploy capital.
Okay, that's a great, valuable idea from your side to the audience. So we know that since past 10 years, the blockchain industry has been blooming. There are a lot of investment opportunities over there. So what do you like to tell in specific to the seed investors or the venture capitals or the new joinees to the investment team? What tips you'd like to give to them?
That I think that blockchain is a very broad term. Today, blockchain is used in way more applications and way more in daily life that someone would even assume. Blockchain is everywhere. I think that is specifically very much implemented into the banking system right now. So it really depends on which sector we're talking about. For example, we are focusing on token investments in our fund. It depends on what type of investor you are, as I said. And maybe picking up a specific sector and focusing on that, like to have your investment thesis, to have your investment mandate. This is the first thing that any VC starts with, any investor should start with. So I advocate for both, like having a thesis. Let's say I invest only in seed stage, or I invest only, let's say, after Series A as a private investor. But also having some specific guidelines on the sectors. We, for example, in SwissBorg Ventures are currently way focusing on DeFi and infrastructure.
Okay, that's a good thing. And how do you see SwissBorg in the upcoming years? Like, how do you see its growth? There are a lot of other investment companies in the field, as we know. As the blockchain industry is proliferating, we know there are a lot of investment agencies, venture capitalists, everything. So how do you see yourself, your company in the upcoming years? Maybe in 2023, 2024, whatever.
Well, I really think that we are the perfect combination of centralization and decentralization, because we have this CeFi element where you get the support, you have all the security of a centralized entity, and then at the same time all the pools and everything underlying is decentralized. So this is a very unique combination that I really believe is going to be the next big thing in the next few years, not only for SwissBorg but anybody working under the same model, because we had been observing a lot of loss of trust into the DeFi sector due to multiple hacks and attacks, and it's way more difficult to manage this to not contaminate the whole ecosystem when you're DeFi and you don't have this centralized entity or any licensed entity that actually would be potentially responsible for any. When you're dealing with clients, I believe that you should have somebody that is responsible for any potential damages or losses. So in terms of a business model, I really feel that we're in the right place. And yeah, I expect SwissBorg has been growing immensely in the last few years, and I just expect the very same thing in the coming years.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Anyway, best of luck from our side. So, like before going to the end, I'd like to know something about Dubai as being to the blockchain industry. There are a lot of investors over here, and it's like really in a crisp and clear way we can say that Dubai is like more like developing based on blockchain companies, and there are like a lot of investors and metaverse, NFTs, everything is going. So how do you take this opportunity to implement your services, the SwissBorg services in Dubai?
Well, maybe I can speak, since this is not our market of focus, I can speak a bit more overall about Dubai, because I have been here for 7 years, and I always joke that I have been here before crypto. I think the financial sector here was booming years ago, and I'm one of those that came for such an opportunity. I used to work at Renaissance Capital in the IFC, and I saw the ecosystem flourishing and growing in this time, and it's just incredible what the government had achieved in the last 2 years. 2-3 years, like investing in blockchain, having large budgets and specifically focused entities and teams on metaverse, even like they go really in depth. It's not over, okay, let's invest in technology. No, they have really teams of specialists doing that. They put regulation in place. They put comfortable regulation also for investors to be able to come here and create their base. Also during COVID, while all countries were shutting down and causing the companies to suffer, they did just the opposite. They opened here, so there was an inflow of many companies, and especially from the crypto sector. So as you see from this conference, it's a very international, and I believe that Dubai is the most like cosmopolitan place in the Middle East at the moment. And you see people from all over the world, people from US, from Europe. While I believe this was not really the case maybe 3-4 years ago, because I love attending conferences, sometimes speaking at them, and I feel that before was a bit more like a local crowd, and after all this regulation and everything they put in place to facilitate the blockchain world, companies and investors to come in, now as you see it's extremely international. So I'm really happy and proud to be part of it.
Yeah, so as you have said, like about the investment opportunities, just putting things in final, like how do you see this event, the World Blockchain Summit? How do you explore this event in short?
As I said, very international. It definitely exceeded my expectations. As I said, like we are usually used to seeing all the same faces. So when I enter in a conference, we're like, oh, hi. And you used to not have this feeling that you're expanding your network that much, but now it's just the opposite. The conference absolutely exceeded my expectations, and I met a lot of people globally, which was very interesting. And also it was really crowded. Today is the last day, and we just finished our panel. And usually last day, like last panels of the day, the hall is pretty empty. But we had a lot of crowd, like a lot of audience. Even people were standing and asking questions. It was really incredible. So I think it's a really great organization.
So hopefully you might have got some ideas about the investment techniques and everything. So thank you, Paula, for sharing your valuable time with us and giving information regarding your project. Thanks a lot.
I thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.